Hello, hello, everybody. All right, it is officially we're heading into eclipse season. I'm grabbing my other cards really quick. Okay, so as usual, I'm just waiting for people to hop onto this reading, and it will be starting with Cancer since this is the Cancer new moon. And when you hop on, drop your sun, moon, and rising sign. As usual, who is on here? Hello, hello, everybody. Don't forget that you want to watch your sun, moon, and rising sign for this reading. It's a good time if you know when you were born to look at your chart and see where this eclipse or this partial eclipse is happening in your, where it's happening in your chart, like what house, because that's where you're going to be getting a big revamp. All right, one more deck. Sorry if you can hear the phone. Okay. Hello, hello, everybody. All right. All right, we're ready. Okay, so this is going to be good for you if you're a Cancer, sun, moon, or rising. All right, this is your new moon and partial eclipse. First, we have the Fool. So this is going to be a true fresh start for you. If you have or any significant Cancer placements, I mean, this is going to be something that absolutely wipes the slate clean. So this is a great time to set intentions. Now, I'm a big fan of setting intentions whenever you want. I don't think that it has to correlate with the moon, but this is going to be a really potent time for you to kind of access everything that you want moving forward. I would wait. If you're going to be setting intentions, I would hold off until the eclipse happens and see how you feel after it, because it looks like there's going to be a pretty dramatic shift in the way you are looking at things, and then from there you can start building. Yeah, especially if this is your first house, big overhaul for you. Then we also have meditation. Yep, you want to center yourself, ground. If you watched the weekly reading, you know that that is one of the cards that came up, grounding. So for you, this is a great time to just sit with yourself, be present, and honor your feelings. That's the biggest thing that you can do for yourself right now, because you're going to be coming out of this new moon with a really fresh perspective. And then we also have the Four of Wands. This is one of those cards that is really pushing you to bring it back to your home. So think about what's going on at home, domestically. How do you feel supported, grounded? How do you feel when you come home after a long day? These are things that you want to start looking at so that you can build off of them. All right, Leo, sun, moon, and rising, or I'll put these here. First, for Leo, we have the Hermit. Again, if it's getting emotional, then, you know, pull your energy back from anywhere that you've left it. Leos in particular tend to like give a lot of their energy really rapidly, even if you're an introvert, right? It's not about introversion, extroversion. It's about energetic cleanliness. And so for you, if you find yourself giving it really freely, then pull it back, because you're going to need it for this eclipse. You're going to need it for this season. If you feel like you don't have as much energy, that's okay. Give yourself a break. Give yourself time to rest and relax. Allow yourself to do that. I know it's hard, especially if you're a busybody, if you have a lot going on. The new thing, people have a really hard time giving themselves breaks these days. And so I'm going to encourage you to do more of that this week. It's okay if you're not feeling up to things, but the Hermit is coming up really strong for everyone who has, you know, a significant Leo placement. And then we also have Bleed. This is letting the feelings come. That's what the Bleed card is about. Let it. You have to just let it. There's nothing you can do to force the feelings. This is a time to allow. Why it's important for you to take time for yourself, so that you have space to do this. Okay, or a close friend. I should also mention that if you need to process out loud, that's okay too. Just make sure it's a safe person to do that with. And then we also have the 8 of Rods. So don't worry, this isn't permanent. I think the 8 of Rods is coming up to remind you your energy is going to come back. Things are going to come back online, but you need to take a moment during this Cancer new moon. It is vital that you give yourself time and space to be okay, to ground, to feel the emotions, have compassion for yourself, and just create a container for yourself even at this time. You know, buy some snacks, get some good movies, do something or plan something for yourself, even if it's a little trip or something, like to the beach or something, if you feel particularly grounded and supported in a particular area. I'm more of a homebody myself, so that's just me. All right, Virgo, all my Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising. I don't know why my internet is spotty, so if I cut out, I'm coming back. I can see it when it's happening. Okay, so for Virgo, we have 10 of Cups. All right, let me pull these two so I can get more of a picture of what's going on. Then we also have Balance. And then we have the 2 of Swords. Okay, here's the deal. You have a lot in the works. I think that part of what's frustrating you is that you don't see it quite yet. So this is one of the big things with this energy, is that if you're out of balance, it's going to be harder to see this coming up and showing up. So you need to make sure that you kind of have all your ducks in a row, that you're taking the right steps, that you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your responsibilities, that you are whatever space is in your life, that you're filling it with things that are really in alignment with you, because it's in preparation for the 10 of Cups to actually show up and manifest. I think that this is almost like a sneak peek or a preview, like, hey, you have this coming up. So just hang tight, work on balancing things out, and working out all of your anything that's out of sync or out of alignment, and then this is going to come into place. It's just frustrating if you're doing it blind. So you have to practice trusting at this time so that you're able to manifest this fully. So because it takes time to materialize, don't forget that. You can set the blueprint, you can set the intention, you can do the vision board, you can map everything out. But it does take time to manifest in the physical, so you have to be patient, you have to trust, and you have to be okay not being able to see what's around every corner. Oh, and for those of you, I just saw the comment, how do you figure out your moon and sun, your sun, moon, and rising sign? I go to astro-charts.com. That's my favorite site. You put in your birth info, and that's just the site that I just like it aesthetically. And then it gives you a markup of where all the planets are and everything. Libra, sun, moon, and rising. We have the Lovers. Okay. Good time. All that Libra and Cancer energy might be gelling well. Then we have Ask. Okay, so asking for what you need, communicating what it is that's working for you, what's not working for you, and then that's also going to help in partnerships. Don't forget that communication is the biggest part of it. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think that I turned off my Wi-Fi, so that should make it a little bit better connection-wise. Ask for what you need. I find that people who have a lot of Libra energy tend to want to people please. It's one of the consequences of having a lot of Libra energy is it's very much about and wanting people to be comfortable. But this is a time where you really want to communicate what it is that you need, what it is that you want, what it is that you desire. That is equally, if not more important. So remember that you ask for what you want and need right now, because it's going to come in handy with any relationship, not just romantic. It could be something at work. It could be something at school. It could be in a friendship. Just ask for what you need in partnerships of all varieties. And then we also have the Tower. Yeah, so this is going to be a big thing for you. It might be coming to a head at this point in time where you realize that there's something about the way you're approaching this that isn't working anymore. And so you have to release something about the way that you're doing this in order to get the benefits of what you've built so far. Scorpio, sun, moon, rising. Hello, hello. First thing coming up, we have the High Priestess, an intuitive time. No surprise here with all the water and being highly intuitive. As Scorpios, that kind of comes with the territory. You might feel that your dreams are really active. You might feel that you're getting a lot of gut instinct stuff coming up. Just kind of let it ride. If you want to write it down, that's great, but I think you're going to be extra sensitive. Be careful with the environments that you're in. Anytime that I see the High Priestess come up, I want to remind you that if you are feeling particularly sensitive, like you're getting a lot of information, be careful of where you're visiting and who you're surrounding yourself with, at least for this week. Be a little bit more mindful about that, because it's easier to pick stuff up that is unwanted if you feel like you're really open and receiving a lot. You could pick up a lot of other people's baggage. So just pay attention to that. And then we have Spirit. Oh, good Lord. Okay. So it's pay attention. It's reminding you to just be psychically conscious of the environments that you're putting yourself in. That's going to be important. And then we also have the Sun. So this looks like after everything is said and done, it does improve, like things lighten up. You might get a huge download of information, or I also want to say, with this much psychic energy coming up during a watery season with water moons, a water sun, and everything that's coming up, this can be extremely draining. It's not like, ooh, exciting. It can be, but it can also, this is more than anything else, more than any information that comes up, you want to be extra diligent with the rest and care and love that you're giving to yourself at this time. If you're highly sensitive, if you're psychic and intuitive, then it makes it, you have to do self-care twice as much as somebody else. So just keep that in mind. That's your, sorry, my internet, I was just pulling these. Okay. Now we have Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We have the Two of Coins. Do you have a decision to make? Is there something you're contemplating? This is showing up because it's telling you that you need to wait to make the decision. Hold on. If you can take time until after this moon is done, that's going to give you the clarity that you need. So that is coming up first. Then we also have cry, right? Maybe it's bringing up frustration. Maybe it's bringing up tension or old baggage or any number of things. But what you want to do is to pay attention to how you're feeling, how you're making decisions, and if there's any anything that you want to add or anything that you need to process in the decision making process. So it's just about, again, as with everybody for this season, let yourself feel the feelings, let yourself cry, let yourself have a bad day, let yourself feel off. I'm not going to tell you to just be sunshine and rainbows and happy all the time, because it may not be that for everybody. So for you, just roll with it. You know, kind of let it flow. You just have to, anytime you're dealing with this much Cancerian energy. So that's this process of letting yourself be present with your emotions will help with your decision making. And then we also have the Mother of Cups. This is you coming into a new emotional beginning, a new emotional foundation as you work through all of this stuff. So you have some light at the end of the tunnel. Things are clearing up. It might just feel uncomfortable during the time being, or it might just be extra sensitive at this time, but it's gonna pass. Okay. Hi, Linda. Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right. First thing, Page of Cups. What are you bringing to the table? What is coming up first in terms of emotions? So this is actually, you might feel as though your experience is a little bit more inverted compared to what Cancer is going through. This is more about reflection on what you are bringing. How are you showing up with your emotions? How are you showing up with your communication? What are you doing to express yourself and communicate? Then we have surrender, letting go. Not easy for Capricorn. You know, it's one of those things that you guys are really grounded, secure, and probably like dependability and structure. And so surrendering is an extra challenging practice if you find yourself really wanting to be in the driver's seat at all times. So this is calling you to practice. And then we also have the Daughter of Cups, right? So you have to lead. These are actually the same cards. You want to lead with emotion without trying to navigate and figure out, you know, how is this person going to respond? when in reality you want to focus more on just ask yourself, what do you need to say, rather than how evoke the type of response that I want to get. So it's just about paying attention to what you need to say and prioritizing that above other things. Make sure you do it with tact, but it's really about you expressing and leading with emotion, which might be challenging for you. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Hello to everyone who's hopping on. Okay, so Aquarius, first we have 8 of Wands. Forward. You're making a lot of progress in something. So whatever this is coming up as, I think you're going to feel that things are still moving forward. There's still a lot of progress being made. It might slow down a little bit this week. That's just an intuitive hit that I'm getting. Let yourself rest in the meantime, but don't forget that you're still moving forward with whatever it is you have in the works. And then we also have service. How are you being of service right now? What are you doing that is helpful to others? What are you contributing? You know, Aquarians are about community. So what are you bringing? This is also a good time to draw the distinction between service and servitude. Those are 2 different things. So it might cause you to reflect on that this week. It might be a wound that's coming up in terms of service. So just pay attention to if that's showing up for you. And there can also be some forward progression in the way that you are serving others as well, if this is something that's big for you right now. And then we have the World. So there's a lot that's going to be coming together. I think that of anyone right now, Aquarians seem to have the easiest time with this new moon and eclipse. So if you have a lot of Aquarian energy, I'm super jealous, because this is probably going to be a smidge easier for you to deal with. It just looks like everyone else is really heavily pushing themselves and being called to do things they've never done, where it seems like you actually have the ball rolling with stuff you've already been doing. So this might actually be a welcomed break at this time. Oh, the other thing that I want to mention about this is that don't get too or feel like everybody should be at your pace, because they might not be. So just remember that. All right, Pisces. Sun, Moon, and Rising. First thing, we have 10 of Wands. What do you need to put down? What do you need to take off your plate? What is overwhelming? That's the big question that you want to ask yourself at this time, is what needs to be set down. And then we also have self-care. You gotta work and emphasize the self-care this week. That's also going to help with the load. This could easily be work stuff coming up. I'm getting that this is a heavy workload this week, so you want to make sure that you are putting boundaries and structure around when you're giving to work and when you're giving to yourself. So just make sure that you're working within your boundaries so that you don't fall out of balance during this week. And then we also have the Son of Swords. Okay. This is a time when you're going to be focusing on the future a lot. I think that there's a lot of Pisces that are going to be extra dreamy, extra focused on the future. What's next? This is a time when you could be getting a lot of downloads as well, similar to Scorpio. So if you have a lot of Pisces and Scorpio energy, it's going to be extra potent psychic energy at this time, since we are in Cancer season and have a Cancer moon. Again, focus on taking care of the body. That's one of the things that if you're really cerebral, or if you find yourself spending a lot of time in the astral, whether it be through dreams or just getting a lot of information, taking care of your body and bringing your energy down is going to be one of the best things you can do to stay grounded during this moon. Aries, sun, moon, and rising. Okay, first thing, we have the Seven of Cups. What are your options? What are you contemplating? What are the different choices you have available to you? I would say it might take, you might want to wait until the full moon or the new moon passes for this. I would just hold off if you can, but it's wise to explore those options right now. We have awareness. So I think you're going to have something that really wakes you up to what's going on in terms of this decision-making process, whatever it may be. This is a time to explore and feel into the awareness of what the different avenues are for you. And then we also have the Eight of Pentacles. So hard work. This is going to take effort, right? Sorting through all of this and figuring everything out is going to take time. It's going to take dabbling. It's going to take exploration. It's going to take effort. It's not an overnight thing. I mean, maybe for some of you, if you are used to making decisions quickly, but it might be time for you to pull back some of that impulsivity and focus more on contemplation a little bit, figure out what it is that you need to do, and give it time to grow and really witness what's showing up rather than just diving into the next decision. Okay. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. Alrighty. Okay, we're back. All right, Five of Wands. So you might feel a little bit combative or a little bit edgy. I kind of see this as, if you have a lot of Taurus energy, it might make you feel like you are snappier than usual. So just watch yourself with that. Know that it's kind of 'tis the season for that, like emotional reaction. So for you, it's just about taking a step back and looking at, okay, what's really going on? How do I really feel about this? And not necessarily feeding into the knee-jerk reactions, but it might happen. So if it does, have compassion for yourself. You're a human being. And so just be gentle with yourself if you're being hard on yourself for feeling this way. Then we have rest. No surprise there. And this is also saying that if you're in a heated discussion, you can actually say, you know what, let's take a pause. Let me take a break from this conversation and let's come back to this after we've cooled down for a little while. That's always an option. If something upsets you and you're not ready to talk about it, communicate, hey, I'm not ready to talk about it. I need a moment to rest. So it's just about expressing that and honoring whatever you need in communication space, in relationships, in interactions. And then we also have Mother of Wands, and again, this is just pointing to the energy that you have. I think that this is going to be one of those moons that might make you feel more aggressive and fiery than usual. That could be how it's lighting you and activating your emotions. So just remember that. Compassion, compassion, compassion. It might be a good week to get things done for some of you, but if you're feeling particularly moody, it's okay to take a break too. Just respect your feelings and let yourself feel into whatever it is that's right for you. Okay, everybody's body and composition and astrology is going to shift kind of how you cope with this and what you want to do with it. Okay, last but not least, we have Gemini. Hello, hello, for those of you who are Sun, Moon, and Rising Gemini. 5 of Swords. How funny, this is a total Gemini card. This is going to be a time of deep reflection. Deep reflection. Watch yourself if you feel like you're getting activated. If somebody makes you angry or irritated, why? Ask yourself why. What is really irritating about it to you? What's going on in yourself that's bringing up those emotions? Remember that other people are reflecting this back to you. So the more that you can pay attention to what's being lit up within yourself, the faster you're going to heal that part of yourself and have compassion for that, because it's kind of a drain and a waste of energy if everything makes you really activated and irritated, right? It can get tiring. So you just want to have compassion for that part of yourself and then allow it to heal. This does not look like anything with other people unless they are reflecting it to you, but it's about looking at yourself first so that can shift, because that's going to transform the external relationship if you go inward first. Then we also have perspective. Yep, that this is speaking to what I was just talking about. It's how you look at it. It's how you have compassion for yourself. And through that, you're able to have compassion for others. So don't forget that. It is about perspective. And lastly, we have 3 of Wands. So it looks like there is, I think you're working on something pretty significant. So remember that you can take your time and watch it develop from afar, or you can still take a break, you can still do the reflection. It's building up to something much larger than what you have anticipated. So you have good things coming up. Just make sure you're honoring yourself this week. All right, so that's all for the new moon reading. Don't forget, it's a good time to work with me. If you would like to, you can go to onyxhealing.com. All my services are on there, everything like that, so you're welcome to check that out. And yeah, that's all I have for you. If you hopped on late, I'm going to post this. You can go back and watch it. I'll be doing the timestamps. If you're watching on YouTube, they're already up. And I will talk to you all later. Have a great eclipse, everybody. I will see you later.